Welcome once more on the BETONG Crypto. I'm your guy, the BETONG. Today, I want us to look at how I trade the market, the crypto market, or whatever markets out there. I make sure I analyze from the Asia, UK, right up to US, where I execute the trade, either long or short. I want to walk you through the process. So, whatever asset you are going to be trading in your life, if you apply this, it's going to help you somehow to make profit from the market. What I do here is no financial advice. I'm someone who is focusing on education only, and I base my analysis on the chart, on data, actual data, no hype. I don't. I'm not here to give you predictions to like do this. I'm here to actually point on data from the chart. You know, how I trade cryptocurrency from Asia to US session. Wow. If you're new, you're welcome. Again, if you're a returning subscriber, you are still welcome. Hit that subscribe button nice and early and like the video. And yeah, let's dive straight away into the source today. Now, um, before we even go there, I want to like bring something to your attention. I want you to understand something when it comes to trading. I think I've mentioned this over and over, but I'm gonna like reiterate on this. I'm gonna like insist on this on what I'm about to say to you right now. What moves the market is liquidity. You know, if you understand what I mean by liquidity, then you understand everything I'm about to say or I'm about to share with you on today's video. Okay? But if you don't understand what liquidity is, then maybe you might face some issues, following everything I'm going to be sharing with you today. But let me just explain to you what I mean by liquidity. Liquidity is what makes the market move, or how traders or investors buy and sell or interact with the market. Someone is there to sell and someone is there to buy. Someone is there to buy and someone is there to sell. For this to take place, there must be someone providing that liquidity. Someone must be at the other side selling, or someone must be at the other side buying. So, in essence, you are trading with someone, or you guys are trading with each other. Let me put it that way. So, for you to actually buy, there must be an order or someone willing to sell at that price that you want to buy. Or if you want to sell, there must be someone who is willing to buy at the price you want to sell. So I'm going to walk you guys through everything, and everything is based on liquidity. Okay? Without liquidity, nothing happen. And the UK, US, and London, the US, Asia, and the London, UK, and Asia session are the most important session in the crypto space, or any space, or the financial market, be it stocks or gold, whatever market you're trading. These sessions are important sessions because these investors in these countries actually have capital to invest or trade in the market. Usually, Asia is gonna set a trend. UK is gonna either maintain the trend, and then to an extent, we're gonna see how US is going to continue with that trend. Okay, so what I want us to focus today is I want us to go through Asia and see how I look at Asia, how I look at UK, and how I react during the US session. So we're gonna use Bitcoin, um, gold. We're gonna look at Bitcoin, gold, and where we're gonna be focusing on more the fair value gap, other block, volume, vector candles. These are the things I want to see before I trade. So what I do is I want to see what is the bias for that day. Okay, before I get into that trade, I want to know the bias for that day. So for me to know the bias for the day, I'm going to stick on the daily time frame to see what the daily time frame is saying. Like, what is the daily time frame saying? For in this case, if I look at the daily time frame for Bitcoin, the daily time frame for Bitcoin is showing me that to an extent, Bitcoin is actually not, let me say, Bitcoin is recovering from this downward movement. So, seeing that the day started around, let's say, around this, around $6,000, or Bitcoin have dropped right down to the low is around $86,000, right? Or let's say, give or take, $87,000. This is the low here. And if you look at this low, right, you're gonna see that this low is half of this candle that was this candle here, and this low took us to midpoint of this candle, which is around the value area low based on this volume profile. So I would say that this candle today took us during the US, so sorry, during the Asia, and now we are in the UK session. It took us right down towards this price point, and now I'm seeing buyback. The candle is not yet closed, and it's getting towards the end of yesterday's candle. So what I'm gonna do right now is mark the low of yesterday. That was yesterday low, daily low. Then I'm gonna mark the high of yesterday. This was the high of yesterday. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to have a range based on what price this yesterday to see what price might do today. Okay. Now I'm gonna drop down to the 4 hours time frame and see what price is doing currently. Now, on this time frame, you can see clearly that price is below the 50-day moving average. I mean, throughout the Asian session and the UK session, price has been below the 50-day EMA. And you can see where price left. Price left the zone, and price is just below, or let me say, at the close of yesterday's candle, right? And this line should be the line that we want to see price flip above and stay above before we start looking for that huge buy opportunity to take us to the next high, if that's going to be the case with price. So looking at this now, I'm going to drum now down to the 1 hour time frame. And what I'm looking for is simple. I'm looking for a fair value gap, either to the top or bottom, of this move. You can see from here, is there a fair value gap here? Because if I look at this, there's no fair value gap to the upside, and I cannot really see any fair value gap either to the downside. Now, let me look at previous data. If I'm gonna find anything of that sort, okay, there's nothing like that. Let me drop down to the 50 minutes time frame. Okay, what I want to see here is simple. I want to see how far Asia took us and what UK has been doing. So we can see clearly that Asia, price started here around this. Let me see. Let me take us back to this level that was around 88.57. This was the market open. And price took us right down to about 86,987, and you can see throughout the UK session, price has been moving just around what Asia, or price has just been trying to recover what Asia has been doing, or the damage that Asia caused, because price has been dumping throughout the session. And you can see throughout the UK session, the market makers haven't been able to break this low yet. So what I'm gonna do now is make sure I mark this low to be an important low. So this Asia low should be an important low. So whatever trade I'm taking, I don't want to see like price go below this zone. Okay, I don't want to see price go below this zone. If price goes below, I want to see massive rejection. So this is gonna be like, okay, if UK is gonna maintain this low, this Asia low, then there's high chance that when UK market is gonna open, UK is gonna take us back towards the market open, which was around this it is 8.578 price point for like as you are looking at this on the chart of Bitcoin. So this now gives me the heads up, like to anticipate what might happen with the price of Bitcoin during the US session. Now you have to look at what price has been doing. Like for example, I mentioned the daily time frame. You have to stick on what price has been doing, and you realize that we have been forming like you can see each time price come to these areas, price has been rejecting, which means price has come back to a key area that price don't want to go or close below. So this whole zone where we have marked the low of the day, which is the low of Asia, we don't want to see price break. Because if price break, it's not mean we are going to be breaking below the value area low based on the volume profile that we have been talking about like throughout this session. Right, I've been talking about this volume profile, this particular chart throughout. Like yesterday's video, I talk about it. Last week video, I talk about it, and I'm gonna keep talking about this range until we're gonna break the range and close above. And I've told you guys where we can start expecting to get in, like confidently buying towards the upside. And this is the long trade. We need to see price break and close above this zone. You know, price close above this area, then we can confirm that we are back in an uptrend. This is gonna, break this structure or change character. And if it change character, then what we should expect is pull back towards the alpha trend, or this POC area. And if price is gonna get there, then we want to be looking at price retracing back to that area before continuation to the upside. So in essence, I'm still giving you guys a heads up as to what might be happening with the price of Bitcoin today, tomorrow, because I'm looking for my trades more. Maybe tomorrow, I think. Today, we might not see something really sustainable today, but tomorrow we might start seeing something happening. Or if we're gonna see that huge move today, then we wanna expect pullback towards this area that I mentioned before continuation to the upside. So, in essence, what we are doing right now is building our analysis, building and seeing what price is doing based on previous price action to execute when the right time is come. That's what we are doing currently. If you look at what I'm seeing here on the chart, you know, now I'm going to look for another asset. Let's analyze this as it is. Let's look at gold. Gold hits the all-time high yesterday. Okay, and now we are like this daily open candle has been bullish as well, but I don't think this candle is gonna go anywhere. Why? You can see here the 5-day EMA is just at this corner, and also the 13-day EMA is at this corner. So we're gonna see some sort of pullback, if not today, maybe tomorrow, back towards this area. But what I want us to look at is simple, because looking at this candle is like, okay, we are bullish, not like we're bullish, we are bullish based on that candle. And what I want to see is simple. I want to make sure that what price is doing on the 4 hours time frame want to reflect to what we've discussed in previous price action. Remember, I told you guys that this 4 hours candle, we should be expecting at least price to reject this key level. And you can see, even though we are up today, we haven't seen like that sustainable movement to the upside throughout the day. So if we now go based on session times, we want to see what has been going on throughout the session. You can see clearly, based on this session, there is this huge vector candle here, which it occurred not so long ago. But let's look first of all, see what Asia has been doing, so that we can imagine what might happen with UK or what the US is going to do. Now, the Asia, this is the high of Asia, and this is the low of Asia. Okay, for us to be able to like break out and look for a sustainable move, we need to be able to mark this zone currently before the US open. So marking this zone based on the volume profile we're gonna have a range here, and this range is gonna take us right to the value area high, the POC, and the value area low. Now, if we're gonna see price break and close below the value area low, then we might be expecting the market makers to either reject, like price should reject from the 50-day moving average on the 15 minutes time frame. And if that's gonna be the case, if you see price rejecting here, which I think is going to happen, then maybe from there we can expect the move to continue to the upside. Okay, but if we look at the 4 hours time frame based on what I mentioned, price, at least cooling down towards these moving averages, then because we have been moving sideways here, we might see price for the price of gold, move like drop a little bit down to 4,400, okay, or let's say 4,431 price point. But what I want us to establish here is a zone where we can trade. So whatever price is gonna do here, okay, we want to see price break and close below the alpha trend. So whatever price is gonna be doing around this range, what I want to see to confirm that we might visit this low here, this zone here where we're gonna be looking for that trade. I want to see price at least do something like this, break with volume, close below the alpha trend, go back a little bit, then drop towards this 50-day moving average. If this is going to be the case, then I'm going to confirm that we are going to at one point visit this liquidity down here before continuation back towards that area. Right. This is how I want to see my price move. So the moment we're going to break and close below this zone, I'm buying, or it can just come straight down here. I'm buying when I see price get back here or half of this move. I'm gonna buy, something like this. Then my stop loss above. Not like buy. I'm gonna short. Gold right down here. Then when I see price here, I'm gonna long gold back up here. So this is the range I'm gonna be looking at the buy. This is the range. Sorry, the short where I'm gonna short gold, and this is the range I'm gonna look at the long. So I'm gonna look at my long here. I'm gonna look at shorts here. And all based on the session time, right? But I'm seeing here on the session time that throughout the Asian session, price has been moving sideways, and even throughout the UK session, price has been moving sideways, consolidating sideways. So if we see US open and break close below, which is gonna happen, I think, then we want to see price at least get towards maybe this moving average here on the 15 minutes time frame, something like this. Then attempt back to go and like break and close above. That's when I'm gonna be taking that trade. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Take the trade and then cash out the profit down here. You know, and this is gonna be based on what Asia has done. But if say UK, if say US is going to break above, I'm gonna consider that move a stopping for the candle just to take us back downward. So what I'm trying to say here is simple. I want us to focus on what the trend is gonna be when UK is gonna end and when US is going to open, and that's gonna give us a clue as to where they want to take us. Short term, long term, I think gold can go right up to $5,000 before we see any cool down. Before any cool down. But for short term, we're gonna see at least price do something like that. we're gonna take one example. I'm gonna be brief. This is Ethereum. Ethereum on the I think Ethereum is doing something similar as Bitcoin. You can see, like, yeah, similar as Bitcoin. Throughout, this was the UK law. Sorry, the US, the Asia law. Sorry, guys, the Asia law. I'm mixing up stuff. Was the Asia law, yeah, and this is UK law. You can see, the UK has formed, let me say, higher high from like higher low. Sorry, higher low, based on the Asia law. So this was the Asia law, and this is the UK law. UK law is here, and maybe if say we're gonna see Asia, why am I mixing up stuff? if we're gonna see UKNs with price not able to break the law of UK, right? Then US might take us straight to that high, or price might do something like this because actually this candle on the 15 minutes time frame, this one here, you know, actually initiated this dump to the downside. So for us to be able to like be super bullish again for Ethereum, what we need to see happen here for Ethereum is simple. I want to see a massive break of structure here on the 15 minutes time frame at least, something like this, break and close above there. I'm gonna get by the pullback, so this is where I'm gonna be looking for my trade around this area. If I see any massive move to the upside, that break, so during the US session, I'm gonna be looking for that trade from here down here and another trade from here up there because of this previous price action. If I see something happens like this, like what happened yesterday, the previous days, you can see here as well yesterday, then I'm going to be looking for that retracement back here before continuation to the upside. At least on this time frame, it's gonna be a short time frame to look for that trade, the Ethereum trade. Let's get to the next, which is Solana. Let's see quickly. Solana actually, yeah, price bounce from the 50 day moving average. You can see we trace back towards this area, this almost towards the Asia low, right? UK has come right down towards the Asia low. You can see the buyback. The buyback, it signifies something, meaning going towards the end of the UK session, we might see some sort of pullback towards a 50-day moving average. Then US might take us to create a next high. So if I see price rejecting this Asia low, like UK reject this low, then at the beginning of the US session, we see rejection here. We're gonna consider that as a bullish signal for that day or for that session. Right. So this is how I go about. Like if I have to take a trade here, it's gonna be after 1 hour. After 1 hour during the UK session. So UK is gonna start. I'm gonna wait for 1 hour before I execute any trade. And within 1 hour, I must have seen at least multiple 15-minute candle or at least two 30-minute candle that is gonna close based on previous price action or previous levels like the Asian low and the UK low. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, and that's how I also analyze the market, looking at the sessions, UK, Asia, then community where I'm gonna be you want to learn, right? So let's say, for example, you are facing challenges with market structure, you don't know how to read it. I'm gonna know that you have that issue. I'm gonna try as hard as possible to make sure you understand how it works based on the previous videos I've done. I'm gonna go specifically on those videos to share it with you. So make sure what I do on a daily basis. I've just shared with you guys my style of trading, what I want to see. And these are all short term. You have to go first to look at what price is doing on the higher time frame. Like Bitcoin in general tells the story. If you look at Bitcoin on the higher time frame, you can see the story based on previous price action. As I mentioned, you can see This was the high, the low of yesterday. And if we want to be bullish, we need to see, at least today, candle should close above the low of yesterday, knowing that if we are going into tomorrow, we already have a range based on yesterday's price action, or based on the previous day's price action. Guys, you can see what I do here is purely educational only. I'm not here to hype you. I'm not here to give you something which is not real. And I want you to be able to understand that we are all here to build something sustainable from the market. And if you face challenges, then I can help you sort out most of your challenges. I didn't know my camera, went off. Let me see if I can bring that back my camera. Let me see. Okay, yeah, my camera is back on. All right, guys. That's it for today's show. If you have anything that you want me to talk about, feel free to comment. I'm gonna, do a separate video about it, or in my live stream tomorrow. We're gonna talk about it. Until then, see you the next one. Bye bye. Ciao.